Red alert, China planning to double their nuclear arsenal in just 6 years. This is coming from the U.S. Sun.
Is the U.S. Sun one that's like kind of full of crap, like the National Enquirer, or are they kind of not full of crap? I'm pretty sure they're National Enquirer.
I think there's a fair amount of crap.
Okay.
I don't know if they're full of crap, but
There might be a little crap sprinkled into the truth.
it says that in 6 years it'll have enough nukes to destroy the world 10 times over.
How do they have a time frame?
That sounds like a little overkill.
Yeah, no pun intended, right? But how do they have a time frame? Did China call the Sun and go, "Hey, listen, I know you guys need something to write about. I'll let you know. In about 6 years, we're going to have this many
No,
nukes."
it's like the crazy part is I think we've provided this intel that China would have it. So that's kind of the weird part. So it says China's planning to double its nuclear arsenal in just 6 years. According to a Pentagon report, the nation may also be exploring the development of non-nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles and have enough nukes to destroy the world 10 times over.
Well, you know what's funny? At the same time you're reading that, Bill Gates is actually building a massive nuclear-powered something or other in, I don't remember if it's Wisconsin or Missouri. It's one of those states. I don't know. It's in a place there. They shut down something else to buy it out and move people in, a coal mine. Shut it down, bust people out, move people in to build this thing. And it's supposed to be
just crash it. Let a train derail by it and just make everybody move out.
Well, it's supposed to be the biggest one in like the world of this nuclear thing, but they're saying they're doing it for energy, but I wonder if they're doing it for not.
So anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
With old Billy Gates. But the report says that an annual survey of Chinese military capabilities found the nation on track to exceed previous projections, having reached a stockpile of 500 operational nuclear warheads by May of 2023. But that number will likely supersede 1,000 by the year 2030. It added that non-nuclear ICBMs would allow China to threaten conventional strikes against targets in the continental United States, Hawaii, and Alaska.
So does this mean that by 2030 we will have built a dome, a nuclear missile repellent dome across the whole entire country? Because I feel like that would be the next step that they would take.
Odds are that's a hard no.
Oh, okay.
Assuming
makes it hard for the wind turbines and
assuming there's a continuation and a sequel to this shit show. Mm-hmm. That means Biden would be in office until 2028. And
you don't think the next president would be like, "Hey, you know what?
That's only giving you 2 years to build that dome."
What if the next president, 2024, whoever gets elected in 2024
I'm saying,
is like
if Biden gets a second term, he's going to run that joker out to 2028. He's not going to
I'll only protect you. Well,
he's not going to build a dome.
That's true.
He's not going to do anything to protect us, basically.
Because he won't be in office in 2030. It's whoever will be in office in 2030 that would give a crap.
Unless it's Gavin Newsom.
It's not going to be Gavin Newsom.
So former CIA China expert Dennis Wilder expressed concern about the warning on conventional ICBMs as they could destabilize the military balance and complicate the situation for military planners. And he says China could, in a U.S.-China crisis for the first time, threaten strikes against major U.S. population centers without having to cross the nuclear threshold, which risks a massive U.S. nuclear barrage in response.
Now, really dumb question. What does ICBM stand for? Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Making sure I was remembering correctly.
Conventional ICBMs can also cause another problem in which they would likely be indistinguishable from their nuclear ICBMs.
Wouldn't they both suck either way? I mean, out of curiosity.
No, it's like essentially it would produce a massive U.S. nuclear barrage in response. So whether they're
regular
nuclear or conventional, we're going to retaliate with nuclear, basically.
Well, I mean, that'd be the smart thing to do, because if you got to one up on the retaliation every single time, it doesn't really matter. If you're throwing a water balloon at me, I'm throwing a pea-filled balloon at you. But you got to one up it.
If we blast China with nuclear weapons, what do you think would happen after that?
There goes our entire economy. We would basically be putting ourselves out.
I think that you set a precedent for the rest of the world, right?
And is it then they all gather together to take you out, so there's no more of that, or they're all so scared that they give you free reign?
Well, I mean, if we were to blast China, then that would send a message and saying, okay, the U.S. means business. They're not playing.
Trump would blast China. Biden's not going to do it.
either we have to blast everybody or we have to wait to get blasted because they're going to be sitting there, like you said, thinking, well, if they did that to China, they'll do it to us.
Yeah. But I feel like most people understand that what's done to China is because it's China. I don't think it would, I don't know,
but
it might. Russia would be on our doorsteps.
My enemy's enemy is my friend.
No.
So,
Is that how it goes?
These other countries may consider China to be an enemy, but if our enemy's enemy, that becomes their friend, then, not necessarily like, oh, we're allies, but we have to work together to destroy opposition.
Okay.
Which would be us, the United States. So China has been rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal in recent years, which could indicate that Beijing is moving away from its lean and effective nuclear deterrent policy. And
well, Beijing is also, so when China bought Hong Kong from Great Britain, I think it was from Great Britain, in 1996, 1997, Hong Kong was supposed to have a 50-year window where they get to be Hong Kong. They get to continue on with the way they run their country, even though they are technically part of China. They're supposed to be able to continue on with the way they run their country, not have to do the China laws and all these other things. But Beijing is slowly putting like their foot on them to move into the People's Republic of China, the PRC way of life. And so Beijing actually has a lot of influence on a lot of stuff, which most people probably don't realize. When you said Beijing, I just thought about that.
Well, they're going to influence this lean and effective nuclear deterrent policy. You're just going to start blasting ICBMs. Also, in 2020, Chinese state media had called for a tripling of nation's nuclear arsenal to fend off the warmongering U.S. as tensions were raging over the C-19 pandemic. The Global Times, a newspaper of the ruling Communist Party, which has a circulation of 1.5 million, published a fiery editorial in which it accused Washington of trying to stoke conflict with China. Chinese military officials were urged to increase the state's nuclear stockpile to 1,000 warheads, more than double its current estimated size of around 300. And the newspaper, which is often seen as the unfiltered mouthpiece of Beijing, called for the increase to deter potential impulsive military action by U.S. warmongers. It's funny how they call us warmongers.
Well, here's my question, because I hear that word with the U.S. and I think to myself, how many other countries have been in some sort of war as often as the U.S. has, whether it's with another country or, as allies to somebody? I feel like the U.S. has gone to war for people or for themselves or against other people more than anybody else. But I do not know the full history of every war ever fought.
Like going to war now is a little different. Going to war doesn't really mean going to war. Going to war now means spending money.
It means spending money, and it's more about the economy than it is about anything else now.
It's more about a financial fight. And then at any given point in time, it's like, oh, just pull out. Just pull out. Just leave.
Can I say that's what she said? I don't know.
The U.S. Sun says that outbreaks of the C-19, the whole thing. I don't like to say it because I'm waiting
for them to reverse
they go
take it back. Yeah.
So within the U.S. military, they also had meant Washington was eager to show its strength had not been hindered. Now, speaking of strength not being hindered, the U.S. Sun also had another story here. Interestingly, this was after all the ads for erectile dysfunction.
And having the guts to wear a dress.
Yeah, so you got these ED ads here, but then you got this concerned doctor like,
oh, he's from the doctors on TV.
I'm worried about your penis.
Your penis.
So, I think this is completely unrelated, but maybe this could potentially help with ED, as Paige Spiranak looks glowing in her latest revealing outfit for selfie, as fans call golf influencer flawless.
Oh yeah, she's the golf lady who is more like an OnlyFans lady with a golf club, right? Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty.
How did those not get in the way of swinging? Like, I can't do it. How does she do that?
It's all in the hips.
No, those are all pushed up.
It's all in
They're
the
probably
hips.
not there during the game.
And
I have no idea.
this
She is
is-
gorgeous, but that's probably a lot of editing and filtering.
Ooh, you think?
That's not yeah.
I like how she says hi.
No, she's gorgeous
Hi.
though.
But seriously though, the U.S. Sun is really concerned about the health of men, as they have this article here, which shows how hard luck leaves blokes left with embarrassing side effects after popping the love drug Viagra.
So again, how much like stock can you really put in the Sun talking about China and weapons of mass destruction when their bread and butter is erectile dysfunction?
So it says that the drugs were also taken by 15 British would-be lovers who then died.
Okay, well that's a big one.
I've never heard anybody dying from Viagra, but it says one man had to have his penis amputated.
How many did he take? But you can't take certain things if you're on other kind of drugs, and you shouldn't take them if you are old. You shouldn't take them if you've had a heart bypass at any point in life, and you shouldn't take them when you shouldn't mix them and like pop a Molly or do whatever else and mix all this stuff like drug cocktails.
All the recorded incidents have happened since 2018 when Viagra and other drugs based on it became available at pharmacies without prescription. One man said he was left with a kink in his manhood.
I just picture like when they do the balloons and they take the balloon and they blow it out and then you have like a little doggy, but they just took his and said and put a bow in it.
The doctor comes back with the x-ray, he puts it up on the thing, and it's just a little twisted up pretzel.
I see the problem here. Your penis looks wrong.
It says a condition called Peyronie's disease. Peyronie's?
Yeah. Sure.
Tenderoni disease. I don't know what this is. 14 others had alleged side effects of either pain, bending, or unwanted swelling.
I thought that was the whole point. Viagra was for wanted swelling.
Another 3 claimed the drug gave them priapism, a condition which leaves male members standing to attention for many hours, which, again, I thought was the point of
the whole thing. Yeah.
And 2 other men fractured their junk.
How? How can you fracture that? It's not a bone.
They did it.
But it's not they call it a bone, but it's not there's no bone in it.
There were a total of 678 alleged side effects logged. Probably way more, but some dudes were like,
I'm not telling anybody what this is. Nobody needs to know I took it. Nobody needs to know what happened while I took it. Nobody needs to know how I broke it doing these things to that thing over there. It's not sanctioned.
Was launched in 1998 by the drugs giant Pfizer and came out
what do you know?
of patent in the UK in 2013, meaning other manufacturers could produce pills containing active ingredient sildenafil.
I was about to say slide-in-a-fill. I was like, that's funny then.
But I'd be willing to bet there's like so many like knockoffs on the street.
You said Pfizer, and I was like, what if every guy that got the also got the like it just automatically wouldn't go down?
The boosters.
Yes, that's it. That's a new kind of booster.
It says the law on prescribing the medication was later relaxed partly because of so many men were buying pills which turned out to be fake. So I guess there is some truth in this. We go from China to fake. We go from China to C19 to counterfeit
erection drugs,
ED booster pills.
Yeah.
And odds are they probably, I don't know if you can buy these on Amazon, but maybe they were getting them on the street.
I was about to say no.
At least they were only fake and they weren't laced
like
with
fentanyl or something like everything else these days.
Oh wait, my bad. It says many contain health damaging ingredients.
Oh, probably
So,
fentanyl. There you go.
There it is.
Or estrogen.
Now,
Can you put estrogen into these things? And then they're like, it's not moving and it's actually curling under and it's trying to separate.
So the Sun just continues to provide.
Oh God, that train wreck of a dude.
And honestly, I had to say that you would probably need these pills
if you had to look at that face.
A gallon of whiskey at least, or gallons of whiskey, because they shared this sister wives story of Cody Brown giving money to presidential candidates as ex Janelle cries over major money problems.
Well, so technically she's the one who would need all the stuff in order to have to do anything with that man. God, he's unattractive.
Damn. Burn. Sister Wives star Cody Brown has given $6,473 and a penny to presidential candidates since 2020. Why is this news?
Well, I have no idea. I have yet to understand why it's a TV show and why the name is ever in anything.
So basically, Sister Wife star Cody Brown has given the exact same amount of money that Kevin has spent on bourbon and whiskey this year to presidential candidates over the last 3 years.
If you'd spent that much in 1 year, we'd have a problem.
And it says his ex Janelle cried over the family's alleged money problems. Cody, 54, is only married to fourth wife Robin, 45 today, as Mary, 52, Janelle, 54, and Christine, 51, have all split from the patriarch.
Well, because he's disgusting.
Oh,
and those women need
he's
therapy.
Only married to one.
Oh, I have no idea. I know the rest of them left either because they got their heads out their butts or some. I have no idea. It's the dumbest thing in the history of dumb.
Cody has blamed financial issues for stalling the building of the homes on their Coyote Pass property, contributing to the demise of the marriages.
Or the fact that it's stupid. I can't.
And the U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal Cody did have thousands to spare when backing Republican candidates with multiple donations. According to the Federal Election Commission, Cody made 40 contributions from July 2nd, 2020 to August 23rd, 2023 for a total of $6,473 and a penny. Why is this being tracked?
I don't know.
Donations include $520.51 to Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy on August 23rd of this year, as well as $205 to WinRed, a Republican Party fundraising platform, on October 8th of 2022.
I know why these have come up. His wife's leaving him. They got to go through all the financials.
Okay, so we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're losing dollars, chasing
Speaking
pennies.
of splitting hairs, he should really do something about his.
He donated a total of $250 to the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, the USCCA, for saving lives on September 19, 2022, August 29, 2022, July 29, 2022, and July 27, 2022. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
Cody donated $250 to former President Donald J. Trump
For his get out of jail fund?
on December 18, 2020, for which Donald Trump then wiped his butt with. Like $250? Like, why?
Like, seriously,
just to
hold
say,
your money.
Only
just
to
say you donated to Trump.
To the Trump Make America Great Again committee. And Without a Crystal Ball was the first to report on a 2022 donation for a representative for Cody did not respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment. The donations come amid delays in the building of Coyote Pass because of financial issues. Yeah, the whole project is shut down because he's $6,400 short. And he purchased the land for $820,000 in 2018 to build homes for each wife, as the delays kept the family living separately. Oh, that's too bad. Cody primarily lived with Robin, with a Y, and their five children during this time, resulting in the demise of his other marriages and relationships with his children. Huh, you don't say. The donations also come after Janelle broke down in tears on an episode this season as she revealed she would be leaving the marriage with no money if they split. Kind of hard to do a 5-way prenup, I guess.
I have so many thoughts on that whole train wreck of a situation.
She said on a recent episode, "We moved to Flagstaff and we bought this property. We had a vision we would all build on it. The way that we were able to buy it is we paid mostly cash for it."
Who paid for it? If they put money into it, got to sell that.
Well,
like,
I mean,
get your money back.
he's the man of the house, so he's going to handle the finances of all the marriages. Yeah, joint accounts. How's that work?
I don't know.
We had to take a private mortgage on a portion of it.
A joint bank account.
Yeah, we share penises, but we don't share bank accounts.
No.
Like that's a
That's
no.
weird.
So we had to take a private mortgage on a portion of it. We just didn't have the cash for it.
Not we, them. Yep, let's real quick. Just throw that in there. Not we.
Oh yeah, them,
I
they.
realize how people would hear that and they'd be like, "What?"
I'm saying we from them.
'cause, yeah.
If we do not pay it off, we are in jeopardy of losing the land, just like any other mortgage. Cody sticks his hand in the sand. I don't know what that means.
Supposed to say head, I guess, like he doesn't see it or doesn't pay attention.
Oh, that would
But it
make
says
way
hand.
more
Yeah.
sense. He sticks his hand in the sand. I'm like,
That shows you the brightness of the women who are willing to have a husband who's married to 5 other people. So.
She then broke down over allegedly having no money to her name because it's tied up in the land, which she still owns today. She then said how he owns a $890,000 house with Robin, as he defended his decision to buy the home to house his children with his fourth wife. But even still, even if they were to have built the house, she still wouldn't have had any money to her name. It would have
No.
been in the property. It
Yeah.
would have been in the land. And how are they
Yeah, but then she could have had the satisfaction of watching that thing burn to the ground.
satisfaction?
I'm just saying.
The marriage is over, is what the title here says. Cody and Janelle, who shared 6 children together, had a marriage-ending fight this season. Aw, that's too bad.
It is when there's children involved, but still, it's also worse when you let children come into a situation like that.
Cody accused her of not following his C-19 rules and mandates and mask requirements and lockdowns. I'm making that up. But it really does say that accuse her of not following his C-19 rules. And not forcing their children to follow his strict guidelines. Janelle defended that her family was not given his list of rules and that they followed the CDC's guidelines. So could that be a potential cause and reasoning behind divorce?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because I want a divorce because my spouse didn't follow my strict guidelines for distancing and tracing.
Yeah.
That were above and beyond the CDC's guidelines.
Well, there's a video out right now where this guy had to work late, and when he came home, his girlfriend, or I don't know if his girlfriend or wife, had already fixed a plate for the teenage son so the kid could eat, and the guy lost his ever-loving shit because the kid was eating before him. And she's like, I have your food right here. You were late. Why should he not eat dinner just because you're late coming home? It's not like I didn't cook for you. I'm not feeding you. But he kicked them out because she had the audacity to let her kid eat before he got home.
Yeah, but did he give her guidelines? Because if he gave her guidelines and she didn't abide by them, then he's completely justified.
I'm sorry, I couldn't not spit everywhere I laughed.
So she also refused to kick their sons out of her home because of their unwillingness to follow the rules, as Cody used that as the reason he stayed with Robin during the pandemic and after. When their sons confronted Robin over not seeing their father, Cody demanded they apologize, causing the family to not be together on Christmas.
Insert teardrop.
Janelle continued post-fight. It feels like Cody and I are no longer going to be a couple. It was that dramatic. There had been so much build-up. The words were very harsh, but the feeling was, we're done. We're done.
We're done.
It took me a half hour to overcome the shock of the conversation. I called him and I said, come get your stuff. In my mind, he's out of the house.
It only took 30 minutes for her to decide. That's not much love there. I'm just saying, if it only takes you 30 minutes to go, you know what, I love him so much to, you know what, we should probably split up.
She knows it was 30 minutes because she started crying at the beginning of
The
Keeping Up
episode.
with the Kardashians episode.
Yeah, and then,
When it was over, that she did. He feels like he can't leave a wife because it's bad on him. It literally says that.
Yeah.
He feels like he can't leave a wife because it's bad on him.
Again,
He's married 4 times
he just keeps adding.
at the same time.
Yes. They're all at the same time. Yes.
But leaving.
He's the polyamorous one.
That's where I draw the line.
Yes.
You know.
Well, obviously that's
His
why
vows.
he's getting
His
a new
vows
one.
are.
He's like, oh man, this one and I had a fight. She's not putting out. Time to marry a new one. Oh, this one's pregnant. Ugh, go marry a new one. Oh, I knocked that one up. Dang it. Got to get a new one.
So this pattern seems to be he ignores that person. He wants you to say it's over because he doesn't want the responsibility of being the husband who says, I don't want to be married anymore.
That's how polyamorous stuff starts, I think. I need you to pull the trigger and ask for the divorce. Well, I'm not
That's
going
what
to.
I
Well,
was.
then.
That's what I was saying the other day. I was like, if a marriage is struggling and neither side really wants to walk away, then would
It's like, who
one-
can hold out
would
longest?
one allow the other to have this open relationship and say, all right, we're still married. We're not gonna get a divorce. You're already out
Well, at
there
that point, it's
screwing
not even
around.
allow.
It's like you're already screwing around on me. So fine, I will give you my blessing to do it. Let's just stay married.
Well, if neither one of them are going to pull the trigger, it doesn't matter if you have a blessing or not. They're still going to do it.
True. Christine's new beginning. I don't even know who Christine is.
One of the wives, I think.
Christine announced her split from Cody in November of 2021. She moved to Utah with their daughter, Truly.
Is Bud Light the son, or how does this work? Do we have a
Lime-A-Rita.
White Claw? Do we have a Blake Seltzer?
We got ranch water over here.
I'm thinking about that Gus Johnson with where he names all the Remington,
Colt.
Remington, Colt.
Black and Decker.
Come
Here, boy.
Here, boy.
and announced her engagement to David Woolley in April after just months of dating. And the two got married in a beautiful ceremony in Utah earlier this month.
Wow.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow.
The U.S. Sun previously reported Christine signed over the parcel in her name to Cody and Robin for $10 on July 28, 2022. It almost seems like it should say July 28th, 1806. Like,
Yeah.
I signed over my portion for $10.
My parcel.
Christine expressed her unhappiness in the family on Sister Wives as Cody spent the majority of his time at Robin's home because she was the only wife who would follow his strict C-19 rules. Christine said in the episode when the wives were picking their parcels of land, the best that I can give today is to just pretend. I don't want to move on to the property. I want to move back to Utah. And why would I want to live on the same property with a dysfunctional marriage where right over there he's got a fully functional marriage? Who would ever want to live like that?
The irony of that, right? The irony of that. Who would ever want to live like that?
Now we have sound judgment and logic. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Post-nut clarity is what they call it.
Yeah.
So Christine said on another episode, I feel like to Cody, Robin is more important. I agreed to be a sister wife, but I agreed to be an equal wife. Oh, that should be a Hallmark card or a t-shirt or something.
Does it go in the effed up section? Like you have birthday, his birthday, her birthday, anniversary, beyond effed up, whatever.
Sister wives.
Yeah.
Because it says mom.
Remember they tried to make brother husband? That's the other one now?
So they got the labels on the car section. They should have a sister wife label section so you know. She told him in a separate scene.
I would literally set up camp to watch and see how many people go there to buy stuff. And I'd be like, can you explain to me what the hell is wrong with you that this is the life you live?
She told him that in a separate scene, it's been heartbreaking being your wife for years. In the last scene, Cody screamed at Christine with the other wives around him. You never tried to have a good relationship with these people, and that's the reason I'm pissed off.
Scene.
Just a knife in the kidneys after all these years. Sacrifices that I've made to love you.
Oh God, I can't. That's why I can't. It's just he's the most vomitous.
Like I want to laugh. I am laughing, but
yes.
Apparently this is real, right? This isn't like acting.
No,
like, this is like.
Unfortunately,
I know
it's
reality
real.
TV is not
It's
real.
still, yeah, but
like,
unfortunately, it's real. It's real people. God, it's such a train wreck.
As for Mary, she announced her split from Cody in January. Cody remains legally married to Robin today.
Wow.
Now, what I will say is, I noticed in these images, these pictures, these photos, these lovely family photos provided by the Sun, is that ain't none of them hot.
Attractive.
Like not one of them.
But that's what I've said the entire time,
Not
is that
even
this
close.
butt-ass ugly man
Maybe
preys
two.
on the women who already have low self-esteem, maybe daddy issues, maybe mommy
Maybe
issues, maybe
two
whatever
are mid
else.
at best.
And that's what he goes after. And then those women are going to be with this guy who's going to be a narcissist and gaslight them and convince them they can't do anything else, they can't do any better, and that he's the best they're
So
going to get.
who's Robin?
I don't know. I don't know any of these people.
I'm gonna guess that she's Robin.
No, that's not.
You sure?
No, I have no idea. They're all the same in my opinion because they're all idiots for getting with this guy. I understand that some women can be convinced to do dumb things because they got some guy telling them whatever else, but the whole thing, it just does not make any sense to me. I need them to have like a strong, any kind of presence in their life. Any kind. I don't care who it is. To tell them, don't make stupid decisions because you're screwing up your kids. Why is this okay? Sure. But you know what? Never mind.
So to follow up with this, the Sun provides more additional information on some really important topics. And I don't know what this is. And I thought that this was actually in regard to a potential stimulus check that was coming out. Because I've been hearing talks about this $2,000 stimulus check that Biden promised. And it says more money, COLA, Social Security 2023 updates. Millions still due a $4,550 check in bank accounts in just days. See the exact date. Those with a birth date before the 21st should have already received their October checks on the 2nd and 3rd Wednesday of the month. And recipients will receive 2 more payments in 2023 before the new cost of living adjustment COLA goes into effect next year. The 2024 COLA was announced on October 12th as 3.2%, which is much less than this year's historic hike of 8.7%. And this lesser jump in COLA has led to an average monthly increase in Social Security retirement payments of $58. Beneficiaries will see the new COLA reflected in their January payments, And this year's average Social Security check is $1,827, while the maximum benefit is set at $4,555. So it's not the $2,000 stimulus that I thought, but it is an increase nonetheless.
It is.